Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
SEO pricing. How much should SEO cost? You're interested in pursuing an SEO campaign, or maybe you're already doing SEO and you're wondering if there's something else better out there. Either way, you're contemplating how much SEO costs or should cost. It's a big question, and I'll warn you in advance that there isn't a singular answer, but exploring the types of SEO cost structures and the value of SEO services can help you better understand the best way to pay for SEO and how to get the most bang for your buck. Budget is one of the biggest considerations in an SEO campaign. No matter how much traffic you gain, how many new leads you close, and how much total money your strategy makes you, none of that matters if your inbound revenue is still less than what you're spending on a campaign. That being said, a greater SEO budget, if spent wisely, generally leads to greater results. So how can you tell whether it's time to increase your own SEO budget? These 7 questions can help you figure that out. Payment models. There are a handful of different payment models, depending on how you're looking to implement SEO services. Each have their own advantages and disadvantages, and offer their own price ranges. Over the course of this article, I'll introduce the main SEO services you'll need to enlist in a campaign, how much effort they take roughly, and how those efforts are collectively priced in each of the following payment models. In-house experts, who will cost you full-time salaries or time, if you plan on doing the work yourself. Freelancers and consultants, who will cost you hourly or project rates. SEO agencies, who will generally cost you monthly retainer fees for ongoing SEO service. Hybrid models, which leverage the power of multiple options above. A question of quality. It's also important to recognize the quality factor in your SEO services. If an agency is charging far more money than another, it probably means they'll be doing more work, and you'll be seeing far better results by enlisting. This isn't always true. You'll find price discrepancies among identical services and service discrepancies at the same price level. However, it's important to realize that SEO costs scale according to the amount of effort involved, and the amount of effort involved often correlates with your ultimate success. On the other end of the spectrum, paying too little for SEO services can land you with a bad crowd: keyword stuffers, link spammers, and other link schemers who will end up doing more harm than good for your site. If you find a price that seems too good to be true, it probably is. You don't want this to happen to you. With the background information out of the way, let's start taking a look at how much effort an SEO campaign really takes, and how much each option to pursue that effort will cost you. SEO components to consider. There are many working parts to an SEO campaign, so it's virtually impossible to relegate all of them to a simplified description of SEO services. Some agencies and consultants may try, but it's in your best interest to dig a little deeper and find out what they're truly offering. Most practitioners will have a few key areas of specialization, and may generalize in the other areas. As you'll need a little bit of everything if you want to succeed, I encourage you to look at options that guarantee you the best overall range of coverage. I also haven't covered the research and strategy components here, even though they are important, because you may already have a strategy in mind, and approaches vary too wildly to settle on an average amount of effort. One-time on-site optimization. First, your site needs to be cleaned up. If your site isn't in proper working order, or isn't optimized for search engines, it isn't going to rank. Fortunately, most of the changes you'll need to make, such as restructuring your navigation, writing good titles and descriptions, and optimizing for mobile devices, are one-time changes. I've written a nearly comprehensive guide on the subject, so I'll stay out of the weeds here, but know that there are many considering factors that you'll have to implement only once. Depending on what shape your site's in, this could take a few hours or several days' worth of effort, maybe even more if new development is involved. Most agencies and consultants will charge a setup cost for this work or otherwise include it for free as part of an ongoing package. For an in-house worker, this will mean a delay in beginning the actual campaign work. Ongoing on-site optimization. Once your site is optimized for search engine visibility, you won't have to do much on a regular basis unless something changes. For example, you might need to correct a 404 error, get rid of a duplicate page, readjust for new keywords you're targeting, or change some design element to perform better. Still, it's a good idea to perform a regular on-site SEO audit, monthly or weekly depending on the magnitude of your campaign. This won't take much time, maybe a few hours here or there, and shouldn't factor much into the overall costs of services. Ongoing on-site content. Your ongoing on-site content strategy is one of the most important and most intensive tactics to get SEO results because of its sheer scale. On-site content is important for adding indexable pages, optimizing for keywords, improving user experience and customer retention, earning conversions not technically part of SEO, but still, and earning backlinks, which pass authority. This is an area you don't want to skimp on. However, it's also an area with a ton of variability. Content can range from a handful of few hundred word posts per month to much more massive, interactive, landmark pieces published on a regular weekly basis. It could take an hour or several hours to create a single post, and your various options may post any number of times on a regular basis. It's hard to exactly quantify, but it's one of the most important considerations for SEO cost. Look at the quality of the work here, and don't cheap out. Agencies, contractors, and in-house experts can all do good work here, depending on their experience. Guest content and link building. Guest content and link building is another landmark area for the cost and value of a campaign. Backlinks are responsible for passing referral traffic as well as domain authority, which you need if you ever hope to gain rank. The quality of link building services can range from old-school tactics like simple link placement, which is as likely to get you penalized as it is to help you, to complex, intensive efforts like getting high-quality guest work featured on national publications. The key to remember here is time investment. It may take an in-house expert months to years to build your reputation to a level where high-level publishers are a feasible option for visibility. Experienced agencies, on the other hand, may already have well-established connections. Since they've already invested that time, they may cost a little more upfront, but you'll find their cost basis more rewarding when all's said and done. Monitoring, analysis, reporting, etc. There are also some administrative considerations for your SEO investment, as your contacts won't just be spending time on the actual execution of your campaign.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.